All right, let's go to Mississippi, where abortion rights advocates are strategizing for a potentially post-Roe world, saying we are not going to go underground after the Supreme Court seemed likely to uphold the state's abortion law yesterday. NBC News national reporter Bracy Harris is based in Jackson, Mississippi. Bracy, what are abortion rights advocates doing there ahead of this Supreme Court decision in case the court does in fact say that Mississippi can keep its ban on abortions after 15 weeks?
They are thinking really deeply about what access gaps might look like if that happens. And they're thinking about not only what that might look like in Mississippi. Currently, the clinic in the state that provides abortion services goes up to 16 weeks. This ban centers around 15 weeks. But the reason that they're not only thinking about what access gaps could look like in Mississippi is depending on what type of ruling comes out, some of the neighboring states that patients have gone to, like Louisiana or Alabama for services, they might be able to have stricter abortion regulations curtailing access as well. So there's just a lot of thought about what would it take to make sure patients have access to the services they need.
You spoke with Michelle Colon. She's a member of the Mississippi Abortion Access Coalition, and she said, while the rest of the country is getting ready to feel what it's like to be Mississippi, we've still been experiencing a post-Roe climate. Could you just describe what abortion access is like in Mississippi right now?
Right now in Mississippi, there is only one clinic that provides services for the entire state. So if depending on where you live, that could encompass hundreds of miles of travel. The state also has a 24-hour waiting period. So that can create an additional sort of hurdle to access. Up until recently, the clinic wasn't always open 5 days a week. There has been a change in order to accommodate patients that have been impacted by restrictions in Texas. But really what Michelle was referring to is that there's really already sort of these barriers that patients have to navigate around to receive those services in Mississippi. It isn't necessarily a simple journey. So they're already, in her view, sort of getting a view of what it would look like to just have additional barriers sort of heaped on patients seeking those services.
So what else are the groups you spoke with doing to support women in Mississippi today? It sounds like they could use help already, regardless of what happens with the Supreme Court.
I would say two priorities have surfaced from conversations that I've had with advocates. One is just around awareness, making sure individuals that, again, might be seeking these services understand that they are still available. A decision isn't expected for several months. Several people I spoke with expressed concerns about just the mere fact that the court was hearing the case could be confusing to some individuals that may not be following the process deeply. So they want them to understand that services are still available, that law is not being enforced. And the second thing is they're having really, really deep conversations to sort of find allies that support abortion rights. And some of those conversations involve reaching out to groups that traditionally may not be thought of abortion rights proponents in the traditional sense, but seeing, would you be willing to transport someone if they need to go across state lines? Are you able to open up your home for someone that may need rest at your place as a midway point to where they may have to go to get access? I would say that's the immediate groundwork that's going on right now.
Bracy, thanks so much for reporting. A lot of people paying attention to what's going on in Mississippi right now. Thank you.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.